Good morning, boys and girls. Today's assembly is about mindfulness. So let's do some word study first. So if we take the word mind, it's a noun, and add a suffix full, it becomes an adjective, mindful. But then if we add again another suffix, this time ness, then it becomes a noun again, mindfulness. And that's what the assembly today is about. So what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is an intention to be aware, to stay in the present moment. Not think about what happened yesterday, what's going to happen later or tomorrow, but just stay and experience the present moment. To be in the now, to pay attention, with an attitude that is non-judgmental and kind. And you're going to hear some students from New Zealand. They're going to talk about mindfulness.
Mindfulness helps you keep calm and relaxed when you're in times when you're angry or frustrated.
You learn from mindfulness so you can help yourself calm down.
The red zone is when you're tense.
My heart starts to beat fast and then I scrunch up my fist and also my face.
Your blood might be swishing around like a big wave coming over the ocean.
You can walk away, tell the teacher, or pause, breathe and smile.
PBS.
PBS stands for pause, breathe and smile. Everything's moving the way it's supposed to be. Your heart's at a good rate. When you smile and just be happy.
It's where you're happy, you're never nervous, and you'll make friends.
You kind of just smell and feel what it's like, and then you just look at it and then you eat it.
Mandarin juice.
Mindfulness makes me a better friend and sister. Before I didn't notice if people were feeling sad or lonely, but after I learned mindfulness, I noticed and I wanted to help.
Sometimes my brain is like a snow globe when you shake it up. It's stormy and wild, and I can't see things properly. Mindfulness helps me to calm down so I can see all the different snowflakes and understand what's happening in my mind.
Sometimes I lie in bed and I can't get to sleep because I'm worried about not getting high scores on my test. Pause, breathe and smile make me feel a lot calmer, and it will just help me fall asleep.
There's lots of little neurons in your brain, and your heart is actually connected to your brain. When you feel happy, you have a happy heart. Mindfulness gives you that happy heart.
The human brain is a profoundly complex organ. 90% of its activity occurs beneath conscious awareness, which means that even though we assume that we have some control of how we think, feel and behave, modern science suggests it's not so simple. The concept of neuroplasticity is a new and exciting area of science. It highlights that our brain is constantly being reshaped throughout our lives by both our experiences and our thoughts. We now know that it is the focus of our awareness that determines which brain networks are strengthened and which are weakened or lost. That means that when we get caught up in cycles of worry or irritability, these are the networks within the brain that become stronger. So the more we worry, the better we become at worrying. However, on the other side of this, if we practice being calm, clear and focused, we can strengthen these networks too. As humans, our brain differs from other animals. This is mostly due to the front areas of the brain called the frontal lobes, often called the new brain, as it was the last to develop in our evolution. When well developed, this part of our brain helps us to manage our strong emotions and respond with flexibility, even when we feel overwhelmed. It also helps us to tune into the feelings of others with empathy and insight. When we feel worried, distracted, or stuck on achieving goals, our brain function is more strongly dominated by our old brain, which has a part called the amygdala. The amygdala manages the powerful fight and flight response, which switches on when we feel stressed or anxious and releases hormones and chemicals such as cortisol and adrenaline. That is why stress has such a big impact on us. Mindfulness is a technique that can help us to manage this process more effectively by building our skills of attention, concentration, and a capacity to direct our awareness in a certain way. This all means that we're less likely to be swept up by a strong emotion and the power of the amygdala. It also means we can bring choice to our emotions and our thoughts. In doing so, we're playing an active role in changing the way the structure of our brain develops, in much the same way we can change the shape of our body by doing certain exercises at the gym. When we practice meditation regularly, we build a capacity to become aware of thinking and emotion. As our mind becomes more settled, our nervous system is able to take in more accurate information, and we can access capacities for creativity, flexibility, and lateral thinking, which enable us to manage challenging situations more skillfully. When we build skills of mindfulness, we still experience negative feelings like frustration, disappointment, fear, or irritability. But the research shows that we recover much more quickly. We now know from research into brain development that regular meditation and mindfulness practice reduces the size of the amygdala, reduces levels of stress hormones, and strengthens connections to the frontal lobes. This all means that we're more likely to live with less stress and more happiness.
I hope you found it interesting, the science behind the brain and mindfulness. So what can we do? I did some research about how can we be mindful at school or at home, and there are some different activities that we can do. For example, doodling or coloring in, or having a walk, or juggling. Apparently, juggling is really good for your brain, and some people call it active mindfulness or active meditation. Let's have a look.
It all starts with what's called the bob, which means fall off beat. So if you're walking, pretend your feet are the beat, and that's the off beat. So it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's pretty cool to do it while you're walking around town. Makes your walk a bit more groovy. But then comes the fun part. Just notice it keeps bobbing. And then one day I realised, why not play harmonica at the same time for a bit more fun? that's called percussive juggling and having fun.
Wasn't that impressive? I wonder if any of you would like to try that at home and practice juggling. Apparently, it's really, really good for your brain. I tried to find at school somebody who can do that, but I wasn't very successful. But Mr. Manzungu and Mr. Shava showed me their football skills. And then I found as well Mrs. Nilsson playing table tennis.
That's juggling to me. With your child.
Actually, I found one teacher at Northside who can juggle. Let's see. Well done, Mr. Briggs. To finish our assembly, Mrs. Stevens recorded for us a guided meditation. She did that once in an assembly in the hall, and I know lots of students really enjoyed it. So sit nicely and listen to Mrs. Stevens' voice and have a wonderful day.
Sit up tall and straight. Close your eyes. Relax your whole body. Breathe out all your tensions and weariness. Take a deep breath in and out. Take another deep breath in and out. Imagine you are outside walking through a beautiful garden. It is early in the morning and you are completely alone. There are no other people around. There is only you to enjoy the beauty of nature. Become aware of the earth beneath your bare feet. It feels cool and very pleasant. Now, see all the plants and trees growing out of the earth as you walk by them. Listen. You hear a loud clap of thunder. Look up. The sky has become very dark and now it is starting to rain. You are standing on very green grass and you are watching the raindrops bounce off the blades of grass. Smell the wet earth and witness the storm. Do not be afraid about getting wet. Just relax and allow yourself to become completely wet. It does not matter. It is very pleasant to get wet. Now the storm has finished. The sun is beginning to shine through the clouds. Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. You are no longer wet. Your clothes are dry and you feel very warm inside. Look up at the sun and feel its warmth and energy penetrating your skin and entering your body. Now you are running in the garden. You are very happy and cannot help but laugh with joy. All around in the trees, brightly colored birds are singing. Hear their melodious song all about you. A cool, gentle breeze is blowing in the trees. Hear the wind rustling in the trees and feel it blowing against your face and through your hair. Breathe in this fresh, life-giving air. Take a deep breath in and out. Take another deep breath in and out. Keeping your eyes closed, stretch up your arms, reaching up as tall as you can. Stretch out your legs, having a good stretch. And when you are ready, slowly and gently opening your eyes and coming back to the present moment.